Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Central YouTube channel as we're here for another student-athlete interview. Just got done talking to one of the offensive stars, Gavin Shepard. Now we get the pleasure of meeting with one of the superstars on the defensive side of the ball, and that's senior linebacker Neil Kleinertz. Neil, thank you for joining me today on the Central YouTube channel.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Neil having a tremendous season, leading the defense, that stout RiverHawk defense in tackles with 47 tackles. He had 8 more tackles on Friday at the homecoming game as Central defeated Toma 23-7. Neil, what were your thoughts on that game?
I thought it was a pretty well played game. We kind of failed to convert in the red zone, but defensive side of the ball just let up one big play really, and we got to limit our big plays from happening. That's for sure. Kind of hurts us. So special teams played very well also. So that's what we like to see.
It was a total team effort for sure. The one big play that you're mentioning, they actually didn't score on. What amazing play that was right before the half. Got tackled at the half-yard line, but yeah, definitely not something that you want to make a habit of for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's killed us in the past, so we want to fix that on our defense side of the ball.
Only a matter of time before those catch up to you for sure. Neil, you had an amazing game. You've had amazing games all season long. You had a particularly amazing game at Reedsburg when you had 12 tackles, the season high. What is the key to your success on the defensive side of the ball? What's making you be able to have so many tackles each game?
Well, it really starts up front with T, Coop, Mike, and Caden. They get a push on all the old linemen, even if they're releasing upfield to get to the second level. They get a push, so it kind of frees up me to do what I need to do, fly to the ball. You know, really, it's big keying guards too. So when I key a guard and going, guards will take you to the place. So
We're going to
helps.
talk. You're going into my next question because I want to ask you. But before we talk about dissecting an offensive play, I want to just mention you and Gavin both talked about your lines. Gavin talked about his offensive line. You're talking about your defensive line. We had Lineman Love Week last week on the Central YouTube channel. Nice to see that that's continuing. Those guys don't get a lot of publicity, but man, the job they do is so vitally important. So good job, Neil, shouting that out. They'll appreciate that.
Yeah, that's for sure. We all appreciate them up front, and they do good work. So they're really the heart of our defense so far this year. I mean, they really are. So helps me and Antoine and even the safeties too. So
Absolutely. So now let's talk a little bit. You talked about key. This is where my football knowledge is going to come into question. But you talked about keying on a guard. Tell us and talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old because I'm a ball watcher when I watch football. So talk to me like a 5-year-old. How do you dissect an offensive play? The quarterback's getting ready to get the ball. Neil, you're thinking what in your head?
yeah, so we're always taught first thing to do is key on guards. So the guards, the person who stands right next to the center, they are been known in football to do what's called pulling. So when all the other members of the offensive line are blocking, they're going and getting out in front of the run play to make a lead blocker for that running back. So for us as especially linebackers, we key on that, takes us to where the ball is going to go. So it's kind of just that step ahead. And then from there, we can make a play, shut a block, make a play, do what we need to do to get the tackle.
You did a good job explaining it because I can understand it. And if I can understand it, I'm sure everybody else can understand it too. Thank you for taking us through your mindset. We've seen once you get a chance to make a tackle, you don't miss very many tackles at all. You're pretty sure-handed. If you get your hands on the guy, they go down, and that's a credit to you, Neil. And that's what leads to the 47 tackles leading the team. Tell me who have been your big influences in football.
I always grew up watching Clay Matthews and Ray Lewis. I watch film on him quite a bit. So they're two big linebackers that have been around the game for so long and very educated and kind of role model me to I want to play kind of like them. So
Wow, yeah. I mean, if you're following those guys' footsteps, you're in good shape. I'll tell you that too. Well,
yeah,
I don't know. Is Clay a Hall of Famer? I know Ray's a Hall of Famer. Clay's probably headed that way.
I think he's on his way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a few more years and we'll see
Yeah.
if they end up putting him in. So
They probably will. I just wanted to mention the defense. Takes a lot of pride. I know it because I have one of those defensive members in my household. It looks like you're having a lot of fun out there playing on defense. It looks like you are taking a lot of pride as a defensive unit and shutting the other team down. Just tell me, Neil, how much fun has it been playing with this defense?
Oh, it's been a blast. I mean, we really like to create energy on the defensive side of the ball. It's huge. I think it kind of makes an offense question, do they want to run that next play? What are they going to run that next play? So I think especially in the run game, if we beat them up in the run game, they're going to have to pass the ball. Then our corners can do their work. And once they get a pick or there's a forced fumble, it's great. It's so much fun being out there and flying around, celebrating with your buddies. I mean, it's really fun. So
That defense definitely been working as a collective unit. As you mentioned, we've seen plays pretty much at all three levels throughout the season, and that's the key. And we've been facing some pretty run-heavy teams with Baraboo and Toma. You guys did a wonderful job on both those guys, running backs, particularly Toma Rufflet, who I think led the conference in rushing yards, was averaging something like 6 point something yards a carry, and you guys held him, I believe it was to 3 or less yards per carry. Just a credit to the work that you and your defensive teammates have been doing. Let's look ahead a little bit. Friday night, we're at Holman, another big Mississippi Valley Conference game. I know it's only Monday, so you probably haven't gotten a lot of film watched on them. But what can we expect from the Holman Viking offense?
yeah, so they run wing T, so it's formation, and it's really they come and they go after you right away. They try to pound the ball down with a play called midline right down the middle. Then they run some counter plays and some like veer also. So they have a really good quarterback. I mean, he's their leading rusher. Um, he handles the ball well. So really, what we have to do is we got to get the ball on the ground. So the more times the ball is on the ground, better it's going our way. So limiting them to 2 yards a carry if possible, it'll put them in a bad situation. So
And you guys have done that the last 2 weeks. Maybe that's a good primer for facing Holman this week, another run-heavy team. Safe to say that a lot of their offense is based off deception. You got to figure out who the ball carrier is. They're trying to fool you with a lot of misdirection and stuff.
yeah, for sure, they're going to run all sorts of motions. They're going to check at the line. They're going to do all sorts of things to kind of get our minds moving in different ways. So we got to stay pretty sound with everyone. All 11 guys have to do the right thing, especially playing a home and team that, I mean, they could one play and they could burn you. So we really got to, all 11 guys got to be doing all in sync, doing the right thing. So it takes 11 of you. That's for sure.
Well, I for one am excited to watch it. I'm excited to broadcast it, and we will be broadcasting live from Holman 7 o'clock on Friday night as Neil and his teammates try to shut down that Holman Viking offense and look to go 6-1 overall and continue their winning ways. So make sure if you're not going to be at the game, tune in to the Central YouTube channel and watch the game. The rest of this week we have tomorrow night. We're at Sparta for soccer, boys soccer. They're facing the Sparta Spartans. Joel and I will be live on the call for that. I hope everybody tunes in for that. I'm excited to finally get to watch that boys soccer team in action. Hope you had a chance to watch the interview with Devin Wilkerson. We also had an interview with Alex Niamov. Hope you had a chance to watch those so you get to know a little bit about those kids. Then Wednesday, we have the ASL versus boys soccer exhibition. That's at 4 o'clock in the Central Sutton Gym. I will be there. I don't think Joel's going to be there. So that's going to be me alone on the call. Don't let that stop you from tuning in, though. I'll do the best I can. It's about watching the game anyway. So be sure to join us for that. Neil, I want to thank you for giving us your time tonight. It's been a lot of fun to watch you and your teammates play. Let's keep this thing rolling as far as we can, huh?
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy getting to hear from some of the amazing student athletes we have here at Central High School. I have the best job in the world. I get to work with these kids every single day. It's a dream job. I love it. And kids like Neil are the reason why. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night.